Check these out. Email is dead. It's boomer technology. Nobody checks their email anymore. SMS is super intrusive and will make my customers hate my brand. Our audience is different. They use TikTok. They don't like to use email and SMS. Ain't nobody got time for lame channels. We are on the paid media speedboat, bro. These and a few more are statements I hear from ecom brands that I talk to on a weekly basis. They think that email and SMS marketing won't really move the needle for their particular business. That's until I show them these results. So you can see on the first example here on the top left, we are generating 31.68% from just email. Actually, we're not even counting SMS because this brand uses Attentive for SMS. So combined, they would be around 45+%. And on the top right here, we are generating 37.07% of total revenue from email. And on the middle here, 37.86, 67.03, which is incredible. 20.77, and this is only counting email. And for this particular brand, we actually started working with them, and in just a month, we were able to increase their email revenue by 61%. And on the bottom right here, we are generating 40.77%. So who am I? My name is Hussam, and I've generated well over 8 figures in ecom sales to date. I've been in ecom for over a decade, and I've been using Klaviyo since everyone was confused on how to even pronounce it, including myself. So is it Klaviyo? Is it Klaviyo? But yeah, the jury is out on that one. It's definitely Klaviyo. Even I remember Klaviyo themselves were a little bit upset, and they had a page where they, basically they put how to pronounce it. It's Klaviyo. And yeah, in my opinion, don't name your brand something confusing that people are going to struggle in pronouncing. So in this video, I want to quickly address a few myths stopping ecom brands like yours from increasing their conversion rates, average order value, and customer lifetime value with email SMS. And even if I only address a couple of these that you are thinking about right now, it will completely change the way you think about email and SMS. This is going to be rapid fire, so let's get right into it. Most common myths I hear from ecom brands. So the first one is email is dead. Nobody checks their inbox anymore. And my answer is email has over 4 billion daily users worldwide. And these are not just users, these are daily users. It means that they use email on a daily basis. And in fact, 99% of customers check their emails daily, making it the most widely used communication channel on earth. So think about this. While social media algorithms bury posts, your email lands directly in your customer's inbox, waiting to be opened. That is obviously if it's good. So second one is SMS feels intrusive. My customers will actually hate it. And not if you do it right. It's true that SMS is a little bit more personal, and you can't just, spray and pray and abuse it like I see some of the brands do. But if you send valuable messages that your customers actually want to read, then it can add about 10 to 20% to your total revenue. Think back in stock messages, exclusive discounts, flash sales, maybe new product launches, etc. The crazy thing about SMS is that the open rates are 89%, because almost everybody open their SMS message when they receive it. It's rarely that you see someone who receives an SMS message and they don't open it. And there isn't a single channel available for ecom brands that has this type of engagement. So the third one is paid media is sexier, and it's very, very true, but sexy comes at a huge cost. And in contrast, studies have shown that brands like yours are averaging an ROI of $36 for every $1 spent on email. It's one of the most effective or cost-effective channels for ecom. And if that's not sexy, I don't really know what is. It's also way cheaper than your paid media channels. And if I told you that you can conservatively invest $1,000 and get $15,000 back, would you take that? Of course, any business would, unless you're getting 20x returns somewhere else, which I highly doubt. And these are the returns that you can get from email and SMS marketing. So we've tried email marketing and it did not work. And here is the hard truth. If it didn't work, it wasn't done right. There isn't a single client that we've worked with that hasn't generated more revenue from email SMS than before working with us. I have yet to find that exception where email does not work. So your audience has emails and phone numbers, and that means they will buy from you if you know how to use those channels properly. So our audience is different. They don't use email SMS. And unless your audience is a tribe in the Amazon, then they are definitely using email SMS. Even tribes in the Amazon now have Starlink. So even they have access to internet and also email. So you might think they're not, but you need an email account for everything these days, from opening your bank account to shopping on Amazon and the Amazon, the platform. And even those social media platforms that you use, you need an email to actually access them or create an account on those platforms. So it's just spammy. This is one that I get often as well. And this for me doesn't make a ton of sense, because people think emailing subscribers who opted in and gave their consent is spammy, while they have no problem showing their ads to people who haven't opted in to see them. However, I understand that this is actually a big concern from brands I talk to. Email providers like Google and Yahoo, Microsoft are tightening their spam filters every single year. And also with AI tools becoming very effective in detecting spam, most low value content will actually be filtered out of your customers' inboxes. And which leaves your valuable emails high up in your users' main inboxes. As long as you send valuable emails that people look forward to opening, then you're going to definitely generate a ton more revenue from email and SMS. So another one I get is we don't have the time to do email SMS marketing. And this is one of the most common statements I hear from Ecom brands I talk to, especially smaller brands. And it's understandable, because they have a lot to do to continue scaling profitably year over year, and they don't have potentially the resources to dedicate to email SMS. And you don't actually have to dedicate a ton of money to be successful on email SMS. I know that, sending consistent emails every single week and also doing a lot of optimization will take a lot of resources. But if you're short on resources, if you're short on money, the least you can do is have your flows or automations set up. And these, you can set them and forget them. Obviously, ideally, we would want to continuously optimize them to try to A/B test them, generate more revenue from these flows and automations. But the least you can do if you don't have a lot of resources or time or money is to just create these 10 base flows to these will generate about 20 to 25% extra revenue for your brand. And they will all run on autopilot, and you don't even have to touch them after that. Another one I get, it's hard to measure the ROI from email SMS. And that's very true, because email apps like Klaviyo and Attentive will show different numbers than Google Analytics or Triple Whale. And the reason why is because platforms like Triple Whale, for example, uses weighted attribution. So for example, if you have a customer that clicked on an ad, went to your website, maybe opted into SMS or email, and then they abandoned your website, and maybe they went ahead and searched for something on Google, and then they saw your website again and clicked on it, then they use weighted attribution to account for all of those touch points. For Klaviyo and Attentive, unfortunately, they cannot track outside of those particular platforms. So anyone who interacts with your email or SMS is going to be counted as a customer that came from that email or SMS. However, email and SMS still rank among the top channels for our clients, even when they use Google Analytics or Triple Whale. So you can see from this particular example, we have Klaviyo and Attentive here. So from Klaviyo, we generate $117,000 just in the last month, and from Attentive we generated 109,000. And you can see that via email we had a 100% increase compared to the previous month, and from SMS we had a 69% increase, and this is from Triple Whale. So another one I get, we don't want to annoy our customers, and your customers are already getting inundated by messages every single day. I think the last stat I've seen is that people see thousands of either messages, ads, photos, videos every single day, whether it's, outside, they see in like billboard, or maybe on the internet or their Instagram, etc. So people are bombarded with messages anyway. And if your brand is sending messages that are packed with value, your customers will look forward to opening them. And I personally have some brands that I look forward to opening their emails, because their emails are so freaking good. So they are very engaging, they are very fun, very entertaining, or maybe they have a lot of value. And every single time they send an email, I basically open it immediately. And staying on top of mind is crucial in today's never-ending distracted world. So another one I get is we don't have the resources or expertise to execute a successful email SMS program. The last agency we worked with sucked, and the copy and design didn't align at all with our brand. And the account manager they gave us didn't even speak proper English. And you'd be surprised. I hear this like so many times. And yeah, I believe that agencies are a dime a dozen these days. They hire people maybe for $3 an hour, something like that, to do your emails copy and design, and they expect them to understand your branding guidelines, tone of voice, ICP, pain points, what pain points your customers have, and what desires your product will help them fulfill. And I get this so many times. Basically, they say, hey, the last agency we worked with, they couldn't get our tone of voice, they couldn't get our branding guidelines, and yeah, we had to stop working with them after a few months. And it seems that getting burned by an agency is a rite of passage in the e-com space, because there are so many of them. There are like thousands and thousands of agencies out there. And yeah, I've also been there, because a lot of my clients, for example, even though we offer only email SMS marketing services, I have a lot of experience in paid media in the past. I personally spent millions on Facebook in the past, Facebook and Instagram. And some of my clients, when they want to interview a new agency or maybe a provider for a paid media, they sometimes ask me to be on those calls just so we can assess if they are actually legit or not. So yeah, I understand that it's a big problem in the space. So this is exactly why I started Power My Marketing, to deliver a world-class service to cool and ambitious e-com brands like yours. So we have a team of specialists that each does one thing and does it very, very well, whether it's like copy, design, strategies, tech, etc. And I promise your account manager speaks perfect English. And before we go into whether we can help your brand generate between 35 to 50% of your total revenue through email SMS, I wanted to go through our system that I've been developing and honing in for years. And in my opinion, I believe leverage is everything. And the Greek philosopher Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. So leverage is one of the things I think about on a daily basis. And that's what I call our 7 optimization areas. I call them levers. And by maximally optimizing these high leverage points from high priority to low priority, you'll be able to print money on demand using email SMS. So let's check these levers. So the first one is deliverability. If your emails are not getting delivered in your customer's main inbox, not in the promotions tab or the spam folder, then literally nothing else matters. You're just going to be wasting time and money crafty emails that people don't see. The second one is going to be templates or branding, tone of voice. So this is very, very important. And it's one of the complaints, or one of the most common complaints I get from e-commerce brands. And yeah, this is very, very important to make email just an extension of your marketing funnel, not a completely, different channels. It should be a room in your house so people can see the consistency and continuity in your branding. The third one is going to be lead gen and the pop-up. And if I was given only one thing to change in an account, email SMS account, that would be it. Because the more leads or the more of your valuable traffic, especially if you're spending money on paid media to acquire that traffic, so the more of that traffic you convert into leads, nurture them and turn them into first-time customers and then eventually repeat customers, the more money you'll be able to generate. The fourth one is going to be flows automations. Again, this is the closest thing to passive income. If such a thing existed, you can set these and forget about them, and they will continuously generate about 20 to 25% of your total revenue. Again, I don't recommend that you just leave them because sometimes I talk to brands or I audit some Klaviyo accounts and I see that they haven't touched their flows in a long time, and actually the triggers on their flows are not even working properly, and they are not making the money that they should be making. So be careful with that. But if you're short on time and resources, you can just set these 10 core flows, and then basically you can go on do high leverage things in your business. Fifth one is going to be campaigns. We generally like to send 2 to 3 emails per week for our clients. Obviously it depends on the size of the client and the size of the list as well. But yeah, you can start with 2 campaigns and scale from there. Sixth one is going to be segmentation. And this is one of the biggest red flags I see in the Klaviyo accounts I audit. Segmentation is very, very important because if you don't do it properly, you're going to ruin your deliverability. And again, if your emails are not getting delivered, then you're just wasting money and time. And the seventh one is analytics. You cannot improve what you can't track. And it's very, very important to keep an eye on your metrics, see how you stack up against your competitors, and continuously improving your most valuable metrics like open rate, click rate, order rate, etc. So do they work? Here are some results. You can see here from the first example, and you can actually check our website at powermymarketing.com. So you can watch some of these video reviews. So in the first example, we helped Hostory go from 12% attribution to 40% of attributed email and SMS revenue. We helped Kingsman Premium stay consistently over 40% and peak at 53% of email attribution, email SMS. We helped Fluoro Store increase their email revenue by 7x. And we also helped Revy Bikes increase their revenue by 6x in just 60 days. And we also helped dozens and dozens of businesses accelerate their revenue and continuously scale their revenue and profit using email SMS. So the way we do it is through 3 fail-proof components. So the first one is strategy, and this is honestly my strongest suit. I come from an engineering background, so this is what I do best, and will be responsible for crafting a strategy designed not just to increase your revenue from email SMS, but also optimize the user experience. And this will include 1 to 2 initial strategy sessions, monthly calendar schedule planning, advising on and planning best promotions, offers, product launches, recommended best practices, etc. Second one is going to be implementation, and this would be creating 3 to 5 premium templates that align with your branding guidelines, creating 3 to 4 email campaigns per week. Again, this depends on the size of the brand and basically the size of the list as well, and how much segmentation that we can do. But for smaller brands, maybe it's going to be 2 to 3. For bigger brands, it's going to be 3 to 4. And then creating 1 to 2 SMS campaigns per week, more during promotions, obviously. Then creating and continuously optimizing and testing up to 20 automated flows, creating and implementing a list cleaning strategy to reduce your Klaviyo bill, because let's be honest, Klaviyo is not the cheapest platform out there. A/B testing discount types, subject lines, calls to action, creating and testing different segments for optimal performance, creating and continuously optimizing our forms to increase our opt-ins, because these are very, very important. And then you have the tech setup for related apps and integrations. Let's say if you're using a returns app, or maybe a back in stock app, waitlist app, a loyalty or rewards app, etc. And then we have the reporting, which is a weekly video and written reports sent to you every single Monday, so you can keep track of your performance from the previous week. Also, what worked well, so we can implement more of it in the future. What didn't work, so we can help optimize it and improve it. Then we also send a monthly report sent at the beginning of the billing month. So this will have the performance of the previous month. And then communication available Monday through Friday through either Slack or email. And then we have calls basically every couple of weeks, and more often than that if necessary. The other thing that's very, very important for us is no stupid contracts. And this is one of the complaints we get from ecom brands that we talk to. They say, hey, we worked with these agencies, but they try to lock us into a 3-month or a 6-month contract. And in my opinion, if an agency is very confident in their work, then they shouldn't lock people into contracts. And I understand that it might not be the case in some instances. For example, if you have or you provide SEO services, those typically it takes a little bit of time to rank for some keywords. So that makes sense to give clients expectations that it's going to take a little bit of time for things to work. But with email SMS, our clients see an improvement in revenue in as little as 2 weeks, because we can get rolling literally on the first week. So for us, we work month to month, no stupid contracts, and our goal is to partner with ambitious, cool brands and work with them for years, because we have clients from years ago that we're still working with to this day. And actually, one thing I would urge you to ask when you talk to these agencies, if you need, whether it's like a paid media agency or email SMS agency, is to ask them what their retention rate is. And you'd be shocked, because most of them would not know what their retention rate is. And even the ones who know, they have a high churn rate. And maybe people stay with them for like a couple of months and then they leave. So this is very, very important. So if you are interested in generating more revenue from email SMS, then I'm happy to offer you a free in-depth audit. And this is 8 to 10 pages of expert recommendations specifically for your brand. I'm going to show you exactly what's missing in your account, what could be improved, and how much more revenue you'll be able to generate when all of the improvements are implemented. And this is completely free, no strings attached. We don't even need to work together after. You can take this audit either to your team, or you can implement it yourself, and you will generate between 35 to 50% of your total revenue from from email SMS. No ifs, ands, or buts. So if you're interested, you can click in the last link in the description to schedule a quick 15-minute call with me. This is obviously not going to be a sales call, so I'm not even going to make you any offers or sell you anything at all. But I guarantee that the strategies I'm going to share with you during the call are going to completely blow you away. So click the last link in the description and I'll talk to you then.